and steam power to mass production lines using electricity in the second. The fourth industrial revolution what was started in the third with the adoption of computers and automation and enhanced smart and autonomous systems fueled by data and machine learning. The concept of HR 4.
Yes, Soumya, unmute yourself.
Sorry for the disturbance, ma'am. Sorry for the inconvenience. A very good afternoon and warm welcome to dear participant to workshop organized by IIC BBDITM, WEAG BBDITM, ED BBDITM on Industry 4.0 on the topic AI in HR functions, a review. We are in the midst of a significant transformation regarding the way we produce products. Thanks to digitization of manufacturing, this transition is so compelling that it is being called Industry 4.0 to represent the fourth revolution that has occurred in manufacturing. From the first industrial revolution, mechanization through water and steam power, to the mass production and assembly lines using electricity in the second, the fourth industrial revolution will take what was started in the third with the adoption of computers and automation and enhance it with smart and autonomous systems fueled by data and machine learning. The concept of HR 4.0 is closely linked to the Industry 4.0 or to the fourth major industrial revolution. We can say that HR 4.0 is a revolution in the area of human resources. In it, HR becomes more automated, focusing its activities on strategic issues and no longer on manual, bureaucratic, and repetitive actions. Now, I would like to welcome our respected eminent speaker, Dr. Monika Srivastava. Dr. Monika Srivastava, Professor and Head, School of Liberal Arts and Management, DIT University, Dehradun. She has 24 years of teaching experience in management and has been actively involved in management teaching, corporate training, and consultancy, and also conducted development programs for faculties, managers, executives, and students across different states of India abroad. Earlier, DIT University, she has worked for Dr. Gaur Hari Singhania, Institute of Management and Research, Kanpur, Sahara Art and Management Academy, Lucknow, and University of Lucknow. She earned her doctoral degree 2001 in organizational behavior and master's degree in psychology and business administration as well. She has qualified the national eligibility test conducted by the University Grants Commission in 1996. She has also had international teaching experience and research experience in countries like Bhutan, Ethiopia, Oman, and Nepal. She has extended her expertise to organizations such as Employees SIC Kanpur, Sahara Hospital Lucknow, IRDT Kanpur, Chitiz India Limited, Regional Center of National Academy of Custom Excise and Narcotics Kanpur. She has authored around 40 research papers on contemporary modern management thoughts like stress, commitment, well-being, CSR, and management education. During COVID pandemic, she has organized 7 online development programs for teachers and been speaker for 5 international webinars. Recently, on 11th August 2020, she has been conferred with Teaching Excellence 2020 and Best Teacher Award on 4th September 2020 for contribution to society by innovation education. And now I would like to welcome our faculty coordinators, Dr. Preeti Mishra ma'am, President IIC BBDITM, Dr. Shivangee Tiwari ma'am, Chief Coordinator, WEAG BBDITM, Dr. Vinay Kumar Yadav, sir, President, EDC BBDITM. Now, I would like to hand over the mic to our respected Dr. Preeti Mishra, ma'am, to welcome our eminent speaker. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Soumya. I, Dr. Preeti Mishra, President IIC BBDITM, wish you all in one presence here a very good afternoon. I extend my gratitude to Honorable Chairperson BBDEG, Mrs. Alka Das Gupta, President BBDEG, Shri Viraj Sagar Das ji, and I extend my gratitude to Professor Dr. S.S. Chauhan sir, Director BBDITM. I wish a very good afternoon, a warm welcome to all the respected dignitaries, delegates, faculty members from our institute and from other institutes who have shown their interest in this program, and they have spared their precious time to make this program a good success. I welcome all the students participating in this Industry 4.0 1 week MDP. Now I owe a very warm welcome to respected Dr. Monika Srivastava, ma'am. She is a professor and head in liberal arts in DIT Dehradun. And all of we are knowing that this MDP is about the Industry 4.0, which has and how it has changed the HR practices. So ma'am is today taking the session on the use of AI in HRM, how much AI and all these technologies which are for the smart work and automation, mechanization, machine learning, lot of things are there. So ma'am will be taking the session on the artificial intelligence and HR practices. So ma'am, now dice is all yours. You can start, and ma'am you can share the PPT. Once again, a very warm welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Preeti, Dr. Preeti, and thank you, Soumya, for the warm introduction. I'm so delighted to be with all of you here. I hope my audio and video are okay and all of you are able to listen to me. Please confirm.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And I have now shared the presentation also. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Now it is on a full screen. Yes, okay. So my greetings to all the esteemed faculty members present over here and the senior management people from BBD, that is Mrs. Alka Das Gupta, chairperson of the BBD group, Mr. Vinay Sagar Das, President BBD group, Dr. Shailendra Singh Chauhan, Director BBD and ITM, Dr. Preeti, who is the organizing host of the event, Dr. Shivangee Tiwari, Dr. Vinay Kumar Yadav ji, and many other faculty members who are present. My greetings to all of you. You have created an opportunity for me to interact with the audience, with students. I'm thankful to you for that. I welcome all the students participants who have really spared time on a Sunday, and I hear and I see a big number of students attending the program. So warm welcome and applause to you as well. I have been introduced by Soumya very well, more than what it should be, but then thank you. But I would like to give you some visuals about my own self, because it's very important in an online platform that we connect, and we have only audio visuals, not the physical contact. So I usually introduce myself through pictures, and this is how I like to connect with my audience. This is already done. This is the university where I teach, DIT University, Dehradun. It is one among the top universities in the area, in the region, and it is highly accredited. It has variety of programs, undergraduate, postgraduate, as well as doctorate in engineering, architecture, pharma, liberal arts, management, and many more. These are the subjects that I have been teaching previously and still continuing with those. These are some of the administrative responsibilities that I have taken. newsletter, journal, faculty development program, an area where my big interest lies. I've already, Soumya has discussed about this, the journals and papers. Yes. I have been conducting various development programs for students, for the corporate people, for the teachers. And these are some of the areas in which we have done a lot of work. Yesterday only, we have conducted a very big program for the doctors and the paramedical staff of Uttarakhand in the area of healthcare analytics. It was a great success. So people from all around Uttarakhand and even some people from UP have come and attended this workshop on healthcare analytics. These are some of the pictures of the past programs. These are programs where trainings have been conducted for the faculty members, for government as well as non-government organizations. Some of the conferences which I love to organize because it's a good opportunity to connect with so many people, my family, my friends, my colleagues, my lovely students. I usually go along with students on trips. We have a lot of activities wherever I have been working so that students have an all-around development. This is my internet presence. Well, I have got a clue that people from other institutes are also there, and BBD students are also there, and some senior faculty members are also here. So it's a big group, very heterogeneous group where I will be talking, and I would like that you all can give your comments, remarks on the chat box. I hope it is open and students and the participant can interact through the chat box. I would love if few of you even write about yourself on the chat box. I would love to read. So you can have your paper, pencil, and you can write few important points if you think they are important. So it is always advisable to write few things. So this is how I'm going to take it further about AI, the role of AI in transforming HR function. And you will have an idea that how it makes an impact. First of all, I will introduce AI by taking the case of Unilever. The source of this case is an interview which was published in Forbes, and how it has been depicted through this interview, a case that how Unilever used AI. So as you know, it is hard to think of a day without using Unilever products, multiple products which are here. And I think all of you must be using it. It's a multinational manufacturing company which has more than 400 consumer goods, ranging from food, beverages, domestic cleaning products, and personal hygiene. It's a big organization and spread across multiple countries, say 119 countries. And, with a big organization with such a diverse spread, the need for manpower is also big. And then again, such a heterogeneous group to pick up from. Finding the right people is an essential ingredient for success. All of us, at this time, all of the students also must be understanding with some basics of management and how important people are, because everything is done through people only. So the case with the corporates lies the same. So if they thought of doing this recruitment selection process manually, it would have been so difficult because thousands and thousands of applications were coming, and that was needed to cater to the manpower need. And they could have been buried in the bottom of piles of CVs. So Unilever partnered with Biometrics to tackle the problem. And AI specialists from Biometrics and HR specialists from Unilever worked together and created an online platform, which through which the candidates were initially assessed. So those assessments they could do from their home in front of the computer or mobile screen. So they need not to go. And it was all with the help of AI. Even the manual involvement was not there. The computer used to assess initially. First, they were asked to play a selection of game that test their logical aptitude, reasoning, appetite for risk. Machine learning algorithms were used to assess the suitability for whatever role they applied for by matching their profile against those of previously successful employees. So what characteristics successful employees had for those jobs and their characteristics which were assessed through the games that they played. They were matched, and if they were found befitting, they were moved to the next phase. So initial selection was by the games that people play. Like most of you was playing some of the other computer game or the mobile game. So something like that was done for the initial selection. The second stage was submitting a video resume or a video interview. Again, the assessor is not human being, but a machine learning algorithm. The algorithm examines the video of candidates who answered questions for around 30. Predefined questions were there, and those answers were recorded by the candidates. And a mixture of natural language processing and body language analysis was used to determine who is the likely fit. So again, AI was used to find out through those video resumes that who is an appropriate person for the stage. Initially the games, then the video resume. Head or chief of HR at Unilever, Madam Leena Nair, said that around 70,000 person hours of interviewing and assessing candidates has been cut. So such a big number, 70,000 man hours was reduced because of automated screening system. She said, we look for people with a sense of purpose, systematic thinking, resilience, business acumen. Based on that profile, the games and video interviews are all programmed. The programming of the interviews of the video games and other interviews were based on those only as per their requirement. And those clues were mined from the data provided by the candidates, the participants, and that helped them to understand that whether they will be befitting to the Unilever culture. See, we are talking about these days two things, the fit between the individual and the job, and the fit between the individual and the organization. Organization, individual fit is equally important. So these two fits were examined through these games and video interviews, which were designed by Five Metrics and Unilever. So with this case, with this crisp short case of Unilever, let's move further. That has given you a clue that how this is just example. There are many companies in the present time which are using AI for the, especially big multinational companies who have to recruit thousands and thousands of people every year. For them, having a big manpower for only this purpose was not advisable. And with the development of AI, they started using AI for this purpose as well. So now I shall be giving you a little theory, or you can say some conceptual building on AI and human resource management. Though Dr. Preeti has briefed on AI and even Soumya, especially with respect to Industry 4.0, but let's see, specifically as a teacher, we move through theory also. So here we are. AI is a wide range branch of computer science concerned with building smart machine capable of performing tasks that typically require human intelligence. AI is accomplished by studying how human brains think and how human learns and decide and work while trying to solve a problem. So the way human beings think and design and make the decision, likewise computers are programmed. Algorithms are used in AI software to remodel themselves automatically based on data analysis to provide more and more refined results. So this is how AI can be taken up. And let's have a quick review. Maybe people are from different backgrounds, so I need to give a brief on human resource management. For the management students, it must be easy for them to understand what is HRM. So human resource management is a strategic approach to effectively manage people of a company. And briefly, how to manage people of any organization or a company. And people who are managing human resource, they are actually doing things like recruitment, selection, training. So the example that I quoted of Unilever was focusing in one of the area of human resource management, that is recruitment. AI, as we will go further, can be used in selection and training and many other HR function as well. Even payroll management, performance appraisal, AI is being used in the present time. So we talked about AI and HRM. Let's go further. Why we are talking about AI in human resource management? One case you have already done. There will be many more examples to come. To begin with, that why we need improved business performance. This is a goal of any and every organization, that is improved business performance. And AI helps in the same. Translate insights into action. The power of data in HR isn't just providing return on investment, but it also gives an insight. Maybe a few things we may skip. I will just quote very good example. Yesterday, one of the expert was giving this idea who is working in AI in yesterday's event. So it was like when AI was used for medical predictions, it was found it was only 92%. If you use AI for predicting, maybe diagnosing and prediction of any medical, say, case, the results were 91 to 92%, pretty high, but still there was a scope of 8 to 10. Okay. And then it was also seen that how human beings do it. What is the precision and accuracy when good doctors do the same? Again, it was found it was 91 or 92%. So it was almost parallel. The AI is prediction and the doctors, experts prediction was also. Then it was seen that if these two are integrated, human mind as well as AI is integrated, and then the predictions were done. And it was found it was 94 to 95%. So that's a new learning, that's an insight that human beings are good, that cannot be denied, but there can be still shortfalls. Even AI is not foolproof. So, but then if we integrate the two, we can have the best. And of course, AI gives an insight because a lot of data can be accumulated and processed through AI. Okay, so when we use AI, then the possibility of biasness is reduced because the human element is reduced. Okay, so of course, manual analysis also reduced, as in the case we saw. Now we move to the next slide. So different areas in which AI can be used. So it is there on the screen. I will just give a brief on this candidate sourcing, where to get from, the people. So different sources are presently available, capturing the data. Number of times you will find, the students will find that they will get a call for an interview, even when they have not applied. Maybe from any portal, employment portal, LinkedIn, shine.com, your CVs will be picked up and then you will get a call. So this is not always done manually. It is through application tracking system or through AI algorithm that you get a call. Resume screening, some yes, here we use application tracking. Certain important words are coded and those are picked up, and through we screen the resume. Candidate interviewing, video resumes, video interviews are done. Maybe defined questions are given, or interview employees or candidates are asked to give interviews or send their video resumes, and their facial features, mood expressions, annotations, they are being analyzed, and on that basis, candidates selection or rejection is done. Streamlining onboarding process, that the whole process, once people are selected and they are placed, so the whole process is also a phase. If it is not done well, there may be dropouts. So give them a proper space for onboarding. That for that also we can use AI. Enhancing retention. Okay, this is one area. Google has done a lot of work in enhancing retention in their organization by using AI. They keep on taking feedback, making analysis of the type of, say, work environment, culture, compensation, or the total, you can say, return of the services they need to give to their employees. And this is how they have increased their retention. And again, for thousands and thousands of people, it is not easy to do it manually. Personal assistance, this is one area where I think almost all the companies are using AI. Administrative employee benefits, offboarding, onboarding is one thing, offboarding when they are exiting, when they're leaving, how AI can use. Okay. Then I thought of sharing one of my research paper with you all, because it's a real-time research work done rather than the secondary data which is available. So primary data has been collected through a survey. This survey was conducted with one of my students, Shreya, and we tried to survey around 140 managers from different organizations, like HCL, TCS, Magic, so 140 people who were interviewed. And we tried to explore the extent with which artificial intelligence is being used in HR practices in India. What are the risks associated, and what are the challenges or hindrances? So with this objective, certain questions were made, and then they were administered, they were given to the managers, and very good and interesting results have come. I think that will give you a real feel of the state of AI in India with respect to HRM. This is just a brief. We can come straight away to the results, which will be more relevant for you. Just again a brief, the majority of people in this group were 25 to 29 with 2 to 4 years of experience. Yes, here we come. So among those people who were interviewed, it was found that they were asked that whether AI is being used in your organization for human resource practices, functions. 63% said that yes, AI is being used. Well, of course, most of the big organizations were used, maybe smaller organization, they are not having, but then in my sample of 140 managers, it was 62. So we can see the changing trend. People have started using AI for HR function in India. Then we come to the next, that is one big concern: will AI decrease the job in the upcoming years? Well, as you see, can't say. 27, the biggest chunk. So they are a little clueless. They are not very clear whether what will, because it's just the beginning. It's around 5 to 10 years back, where people have started using AI in India for the recruitment purpose or for the HR function. So not very clear what will be the state of affairs with respect to this. Though if we use other secondary data, it is said that the people will get newer jobs rather than people losing jobs. Okay, now we come to the next question which was floated, and let's see what are the results. The question was like this: what outcomes would you most likely achieve through the application of AI in talent acquisition? Specifically, when it comes to talent acquisition in your organization, what benefits do you think will it bring to you? So the maximum employees or HR managers said that it is improved ability to identify candidates. Identifying the right candidates is the best advantage that they can get by using AI in talent acquisition. Then we see spending less time, because the time that they used to spend in otherwise manual recruitment, that was more. So they will spend less time. And thirdly, the candidates' experience during hiring can be better. So these are some of the areas. And we can, of course, see that the best response, the maximum benefit that HR managers see is identifying candidates with the required competencies. This is the maximum best benefit they see, because matching competencies with the job profile is a tedious, because a lot of competencies and a lot of, say, traits, job requirements or job specification and descriptions are there. So matching that was time taking, and of course, with the help of AI, it has become easy. The next question that was posed, challenges. What challenges organizations will face while implementing AI in HR? So there were a lot of areas in which they have responded that there can be challenges, but maximum we see the challenges which organizations think that they will have when they will implement AI in HR, maybe partially or fully, not enough budget to invest in these. There may be two reasons: that the company is not having budget for AI, and secondly, budget for AI in HRM. These are two areas. So broadly budgets, because usually these software companies are giving their products at a higher price, and that can be a constraint as per the perception of the managers. And then secondly, the people who have to take up this job, they are missing the skills of the people they think will not be available or is not available. And then best, yes, anything? Yeah. And again, one more important is the lack of belief that AI can make a difference. The senior management or people in general in organization, what AI will make a difference? Well, I personally believe, that is not from the study, that's my own belief. In a smaller organization, manual work can save time. They can be good, effective, but as the organization grows in size, it is advisable to use technology or AI for any work, so that reduces biasness as well as gives speed and efficiency. And similar results we see, but the biggest challenge they face is not having the appropriate number of qualified people to use AI in organization for HR purposes, and secondly, the budget constraints. And the third is more behavioral, that people have to think that yes, AI can bring a change in a positive manner. We move further. Well, this need to be understood. Extent of AI impact on various HR functions in future. as they were dealing with various HR functions, those managers. So the question was that how different functions will be impacted? What will be the influence? And see, we have manpower planning, candidate sourcing, learning and development, performance management, compensation management, industrial relation, administrative work, health and well-being. These are some of the areas in which HR manager deal with, and they were asked that in which particular area you think AI will have its major impact, and the impact was assessed on a 4-point scale. And here we see that majority of the respondent, the managers, said that AI will be having impact on candidate sourcing and screening, because the volume at this level is even bigger. Like for compensation means you will have to deal with the number of students who are, number of employees who are actually working. But at the entry level, the number is too much, which need to be screened. So there again, they see that AI can be more useful. And then learning and development, because again, learning and development is a continuous activity in the present time. So again, having big manpower for L&D can be costly. And for that, we can have AI, by which we can have a continuous L&D activity of the organization. And thirdly, administrative work, the routine administrative work. Chatbots, you see nowadays chatbots everywhere. So in HR also, a lot of queries can be sorted, administrative work can be done through the use of AI. So here we see 3 important areas in which the real time people working in HR, they see that it will be impacting, that is source and screening, learning and development, and the administrative work. Okay. Now, particularly when it was asked about training and development, what benefits they see. So in training, 4 important areas were explored. That is, will AI reduce learning time, reduce travel time and expenses, improve consistency of learning, and enhance productivity. Request to mute participants. Mute yourself. You can ask or you can share yourself towards the end. Okay, so we were talking about that, what benefit AI can give in training and development. And here we see that 4 areas where benefit can be brought, we have chalked out and responses were sought from there. Reduced learning time, reduced travel time, improved consistency of learning, and enhanced productivity. So the responses are like this, that 54 respondents cited that they are always looking for reduced learning time as a benefit in the training and development through AI. Big number, 54% cited that they are always looking for reduced learning time in training and development through AI, while 37% often require it and rest of them rarely or sometimes. So reduced learning time is an area where they see. And again, this also 34 responses cited they are always looking for reduced travel time. So these are 2 big areas where people have responded. Then 72% cited they are always good and often look for enhanced productivity. So all the areas we see broadly are responded by the managers as the area where benefits can be sought. Rarely is always less in all the 3 areas. Means there's big scope of AI in training and development as perceived by managers. So what are the tools, potential AI tools in improving HR function? And among the tools, 6 tools were taken up: advanced data analysis, chatbots, automated assessments, virtual assistants, natural language processing, and facial recognition. So they were asked, among the AI tools which are being used in an organization, which of these AI tools they think they will improve HR function. And here we see 42% respondents believe that AI tools will have great impact on advanced data analysis. Yeah, again, data, a lot of data is there in the present time. So if we have AI-enabled data analysis tools, then definitely the performance can be better. Chatbots, again, and automated assessment, which we have already seen in the case of biometrics and Unilever, automated assessments can again be very useful. So presently the data, as shown in the graph also, clearly says that chatbots and automated assessments are more preferred by professionals as a tool for AI in HR. This is again a very simple, straight question asked, that how much do you think your organization is prepared for adapting AI applications? You may start, but is the culture there? Are the people skilled? Is there acceptance for AI for HR functions? And it was found that 88.6% of the respondents there believe that their respective organization are highly prepared for adopting. Only 8.6%. Well, the preparedness level is moderate. Majority of people say that the preparedness level is moderate. That is 40% people say that the preparedness level is, but then they are pro to preparedness, because if we compare this 40, 32 and 8, they together it is more rather than on the lesser side. So, well, the organizations are prepared, but the preparedness is moderate. Only very few organizations can be said that they are prepared for the HR functions. For HR purpose, would you suggest the organization to make use of AI in the coming 5 years? Well, this is very promising result which is coming to us. And as we see on the screen, more than half the respondent, that is 77%, are willing to use AI. And they are recommending that their organization should use AI for HR purposes. So that is a promising result for us, and we can hope that in the coming time, many Indian organizations will be using AI full-fledged for their various HR functions, because they are the people who are going to make decisions about the organization's future also. So this can be assumed. So I have already discussed those findings separately, and these are just precise findings once again present before you. So rather than repeating this, I will simply conclude it, and then we can have some question answers if required, if any query. The conclusion is that application, this is based on the results that I have got in my study, as well as the secondary data search which has been done. So the application of AI in HRM is relatively new, and it is increasing. AI-based HR application will transform HR functions in the next 5 years. So that is a big scope. Then AI can help analyze, predict, diagnose, and become more capable. The HR function can become more capable by use of AI. However, there are challenges when we are talking about AI in HRM. The challenges are with respect to lack of professionals having knowledge of AI in HRM, and that is needed. So especially those students who are doing MBA and they're specializing in HR, they can add on with their skills in AI. That will give you a new avenue for employment, and your employability can also improve because this is all real-time data, and it is giving a clue that the people, professionals, qualified professionals are not present. So along with HR, you can have some additional courses add on, and that will give you more employment opportunities. Well, if they're senior management people, they should think of having some budget initially and then extending budget, then only there can be better utilization of AI in HR. So presently the status that budget allocations are not that high, but in any case, AI must be managed carefully. The data sets, the data from where we are mining, that should be appropriate, authentic, clear, clean. Then the clarity should be there. Of course, biases are eliminated, but at the first phase, human biases can be there when you're selecting the applications or the processes in AI. So that should be the managers and the HR manager, the senior management can be careful about it. So with this, I conclude, and this is again my own personal observation, that the scope of AI is big. People are interested, they foresee the utility, the benefit coming from AI, especially in terms of saving time, energy, and getting appropriate people for their organization. But organizations need to prepare themselves, because as we see in the result, majority of them say that they are moderately prepared. So they have to prepare themselves before they implement. Implementation should come from the. This is my say in this session on AI in HRM. And with this, I conclude and thank one again, all of you, for being with us on Sunday evening and being part of this program. Thank you very much. Thank you. Please take over.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
संडे के दिन कौन पढ़ाता है?
जो पढ़ना चाहता है उसके लिए पढ़ाया जाता है। और आपकी मर्जी है, आप तो बहुत सारे टेक्निक है, आप प्रेजेंट होकर के भी एब्सेंट हो सकते हैं। This is good. This is good that your organization is doing thinking for you. You don't understand how much pain. It is not easy to get resource person for 7 days, but your organization has done this for you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for appreciation. Thank you so much. Yes, Mansi, you can take over, and those who want to ask a question, they can ask their question. Yes, Hritik, you want to ask? You can ask.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, it was a wonderful session. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, my question is, you have just mentioned something which is called enhancing retention. Ma'am, can you please put light on it?
Enhancing retention. Actually, retention, as you know, that people live being in your organization for a longer time. Retention means this. So, and retention, why there is a reduction in retention? We are talking about enhancing. Enhancing ki kyun zarurat padi? Because there is reduction, means people leave the organization. When people leave the organization, it is a loss to the organization because organization has spent a lot of time in training them, in developing them, and when they become functional, they leave. So if we can keep our people for a longer time with the organization, then it will be benefit to the organization. And why people leave? They leave because either they are not satisfied with the compensation, maybe service condition, maybe interpersonal issues. There can be multiple reasons where people leave. But if we get to know that why people are leaving, when we keep on collecting data on why, what is the state of mental state of our employees. So if we have some data on this, continuously collecting data, then we can assume that then what we can do, we can have strategies may be in our place, be in our organization, by which we can check the retention, we can check the attrition. Attrition ko roking. Attrition is where people leaving the organization. Retention where people continuing with the organization. So attrition is a big problem. So to control the attrition, we try to increase retention, and for that the process remains the same, keeping a complete eye on the employees working, their mental state, their day-to-day in and out behavior, their performance. And there are organizations which can even clearly predict that this is the employee which can leave the organization. Through this AI enabled, they keep on, like whenever employee is about to leave, his performance reduces, or maybe he must have raised some flags on that they need some increments or promotions or something like this. So all this data, when it is accumulated and we keep on consistently getting that data, the organization can predict that this is an employee which can leave in another 6 months or 1 year. And before they actually make a final decision, the organizations put up those strategies which can help employees retain. Maybe they give them some training opportunity, opportunity to go for maybe some trips which will change their mindset, or maybe the best technique which organization presently uses, putting them on some trainings by which they can enhance their skills and performance. Because this is the biggest need in the present time, that the employees want a place where they can grow. So if they can give promotions, fairly good, but if not, then what they do, they put their employees on developmental or training programs, which helps them to enhance their skills, and this is how they can retain. Just a simple example, suppose your teacher says that I've got a better opportunity, I'm leaving. But your management says, okay, ask the teacher that you can go to IIMs or maybe Harvard School for 1 month training program. This will itself enhance the commitment of a teacher to the organization, and he or she will say, okay, we can, if the company is so careful, thoughtful about myself and my career, I should continue. So it's a big process, not so simple. I'm talking about solution. The tracing back, root cause is done, that why people are leaving, and appropriate solutions are done. And for that, again, data collection is done at different phases, data analysis done, prediction models are made, forecasting is done, and this is how the decision regarding retention and attrition is taken. Yes, I think I'm able to solve some aspect of your query.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, anyone else?
Other
If there's any,
participant would like to ask something to ma'am, they can directly ask or write a question in the chat box.
yeah.
Might be they are more cleared about AI in HR 4.0, ma'am. Over to Mansi.
Yes, ma'am. It was indeed such an insightful session. Your talks definitely took us through the very fundamentals to many visionary objectives. Today, we learned about artificial intelligence in human resources. We also learned about what is human resource management. Ma'am also told us about the need of artificial intelligence in HRM. We learned the ways in which AI is reinventing human resources. We also learned about the challenges that are faced by organizations while implementing AI in HR. We learned about the benefits of AI in training and development. We learned the AI-based HR applications will transform HR functions over the next 5 years. A very heartfelt gratitude to you, ma'am, for benefiting us with your time, knowledge, and such a descriptive reflection on the subject. Now, I would like to call our faculty coordinator, Dr. Shivangee Tiwari, ma'am, Chief Coordinator, WEAG, BBDITM, to offer a formal thank you note to our guests. Ma'am, over to you.
Thank you so much, Mansi. Thank you, ma'am, for a wonderful deliberation by you. We are grateful for the time and effort you took to share your thought and experience with the BBT, ITM, IIC, WEAG, and EDC, and with all the participants who have joined from different states of India and from BBD group itself. Your talk was particularly appropriate, we can say, at this time of globalization and the pandemic era. When we are considering new initiative for expanding the India's growth, in terms of your presentation, it is very much appropriate and your slides are very timely. Your suggestion for the time being is appreciable. Your remarks about the assessor, machine learning, way of recruiters, I believe surely grabs the attention of our participants. Your clearance about how AI select individuals for any company with the help of Unilever example, findings of your research paper, practically and surely help our participants. In many ways, it represents the future, we can say that. Thank you again, ma'am, for your contribution as MDP by clearing our doubts relating to HR 4.0 in terms of this Industrial 4.0. Thank you so much, ma'am. And thank you, dear participant, because without your active participation, we are not able to achieve the full participant strength as well as the MDP success. Thank you once again. Over to Dr. Preeti Sharma, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, Mansi, you can go forward.
Yes, ma'am. Now, I would like to extend my gratitude towards our esteemed faculty coordinators, Dr. Preeti Mishra, ma'am, IIC BBDITM, Dr. Shivangee Tiwari, ma'am, Chief Coordinator, WEAG, BBDITM, Dr. Vinay Kumar Yadav, sir, President, EDC BBDITM. I would also like to thank our student coordinators, faculties of other institutes, and a patience audience for contributing towards making this session a successful one. Now, with due permission from Preeti Mishra, ma'am, shall we move towards the binding of the session?
Yes, I would like to say something. Thank you so much, Monika ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's connect some other time.
Exciting time that you were already involved in your own program. It was a long 1 week long, and you still have given us time on the Sunday. I am very thankful to you, ma'am, because like after so much a tiring session, and I knew that your program was offline, so it was definitely very rigorous work you have to do there. And on the Sunday, the rest day, you have given us your precious time, and to our students, I am very thankful to you, ma'am. And the session was very enlightening and the students have learned a lot. And this artificial intelligence is really like, it is a very in contemporary times, it is very much relevant for our
That's correct, sir. Thank you so much. So let's connect some other time and have more interaction with you all. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. So now I am ending the meeting. And please fill the feedback. We will send you the certificate.
Ma'am, screenshot. Attendance screenshot.
Some nuisance creators are always there in a meeting. They are only there to disturb. Anyways. You are muted, ma'am. Kindly unmute.
Yes,
Preeti, yes.
Yes, yes. I don't know who is this Juneja who was saying that to take class on Sunday. Because there is no Juneja in our department.
Find him.
But anyway, I thank you all for having patience for 5 days and wasting our sessions, participating with your own interest, taking patience, making discipline and decorum in the session. Thank you all from our department, from other departments. We're very grateful to all of you and please NPT group right now, because if there is any query or any problem regarding communicating there only. So please don't leave MDP group right now, because this is the only way of communication we are having right now. Another thing, the certificates will be provided to you depending on your attendance, 45 days. Now we will be assessing it. After the assessment, we will check to whom we have to give the certificate. Then only we will deliver the certificate. It will be delivered to your email, which you have filled in the feedback. So, okay, thank you once again, everyone. Now I am ending